All the goth DJs and Twitch witches are hanging out on Thursday for the bad VHS rips, unblinking eyes, and fire by night. Thetans and Satans comes from an interest in the cult of Scientology, moral panics, Satanism, and how they set the tone for the extremist social media panics of today. We really earn our Weird Left Twitch badge with this show, watching the world go red light in reverse every Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/echoplexmedia. Find our full schedule at echoplexmedia.com.
In this world, accessible of kindness and ethical blindness. So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Piss-drunk fraternity guy, you got my asshole, bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to decide to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, we're so impressed. Lots of chicks and a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. Well, I just can't understand it. Conquered divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. Screws in a pool of blood and cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like cats ready to gag. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bone's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The fundamental conquered divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, so let the blood you spill quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
All right, welcome podcast listeners, welcome live viewers and live listeners. Thanks for sitting through the upfront. This is the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/echoplexmedia. I'm producer Dave, and you can find me on Grindr.
I am the Media Wench. You can also find me here on Twitch, and definitely check out our Discord, discord.me/echoplex. There's fuckery to be had. You can find me everywhere that you can find producer Dave, except for on Grindr. And we have one of our other co-hosts live in studio this week.
Yes, I am HK Perrin. You can find me on the Wednesday show. That's 7 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. That's Intellectual Dollar Tree, in case you haven't checked that out. You really should. You can also find me on Mastodon at hperrin at port87.social. Dave, why don't you give the people what they want?
Police officers, they've gone insane.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Don't hate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Oh, don't hate the cops. Like your local police. Cause they don't do nothing wrong like your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fairest judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if
Yeah, the
you
song gets dark.
die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Find out what town a little bit better. If you didn't hate the cops, cause they don't do nothing wrong, don't hate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job, don't hate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops.
All right, that was PK and HK singing Don't Hate the Cops. Sorry about the hot mic, everybody. Welcome back to the show. First of all, we're not going to talk about that clip that was going around about the Colorado shooters' dad being a piece of shit, because just nope. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I know a lot of people were probably expecting us to run that, and we're not going to do that. Instead, we have this long talk from Ben Shapiro about the Colorado Springs shooting. We're not going to watch it all, but it's long, and it's probably as troubling as what the shooter's dad said.
Again and again and again, we see in public life, when there is a threat against a person of the right, when there is an attack by a member of a left-wing organization or an intersectional identity associated with the left against someone else, that we don't tie that to a broader ideology. We don't attempt to suggest that it's the fault of everyone who has general beliefs in a broader...
That's literally what he does every time.
And the other thing is, we're not saying it's the entire political right. We're literally blaming the Daily Wire for like radicalizing people. Not so much Ben Shapiro, but Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
Like that guy has like been like one of the worst transphobes, like one of the most aggressive people, one of the people like telling people to like visit hospitals that do the care. That's who we're talking about. We're talking about the people who are calling for action, not just like somebody's grandma who doesn't understand trans people and is bigoted against them. She doesn't have an audience.
Instead, we say, well, that's an individual and he believes an extreme thing, and that person ought to be ostracized, obviously. But when it comes to the right, then the idea is
that because we take out our trash, Ben?
We don't even know what his views are on any of this stuff yet. Even if it turns out this person has a manifesto that is wildly, horrifically anti-gay, for example, does that mean that everybody who believes that same-sex marriage is wrong, a societally approved same-sex marriage is wrong? Does that mean everybody is now guilty for a person who goes and shoots up a nightclub?
No. None of most of y'all aren't making calls to action like your buddy Matt, like your employee Matt Walsh is, sir. It's the calls to action that are the problem, not people who don't agree that gay people should get married. You can not agree and fucking not rile up a bunch of crazies by disagreeing. Like,
yeah. Also, there's like a level of demonization from their side. You know, Matt Walsh in particular will like demonize anyone in the LGBT community. Like he started calling all LGBT community members groomers, which is fucked up.
it's the fucking satanic panic.
Yeah.
It's literally the satanic panic again. So no wonder like goths are our greatest allies.
Right.
Yet again. And funny enough, juggalos.
Yeah. We wish we'd have known that sooner.
Sorry, juggalos. Sorry for some of the things I said about you on Facebook before before I figured it out.
This sort of game is really ugly. It's really hideous. And again, it is only played by one side of the political aisle. I've been saying for my entire career, as far as I'm aware, that when you have an act of violence and the person who commits that act of violence is a whack job who is misinterpreting the words of a movement or a politician, that person is not reflective of the movement or politician. When a black...
But what about when it keeps happening?
You may not think you're a bigot, but all the bigots think you're a bigot.
No, I'm just like wondering, what about when it keeps happening? What if it just,
it's not the first time. This is not the first time, Ben. It's not the first time.
And we're not talking about you, little Ben. We're talking about Matt Walsh, whose head's a little too big for his body. We're not talking about you, little Ben. You generally hate people, but you're not making calls to action. You're not telling people to go fuck with people at a hospital and shit. Like you have a law degree, you know better. Matt Walsh is an idiot.
Ben is like not quite like Ken. He's like the shorter, more annoying version.
Black Lives Matter, fellow traveler, murders Dallas police officers in 2015. That is not the fault of Barack Obama. It's actually not even the fault of Black Lives Matter.
That was fucking 7 years ago. Good recall.
when a Bernie Sanders supporter shoots up a congressional baseball game, that's not the fault of Bernie Sanders. And yet the entire left-wing media infrastructure and Democratic Party will immediately shift into.
But Bernie Sanders wasn't like, fuck the softball. Fuck my colleagues who play softball. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like he never said he didn't play. And he fucking probably didn't even know. Like, come on, that's so different.
If you don't support every element of our radical social agenda, then you are responsible for murder. It's an ugly, stupid game that is directed specifically at silencing people who disagree with you.
Unfortunately, this isn't really a game. This is like people's lives that are like that like hang in the balance here. This isn't a game.
Yeah.
If the cost of losing something is your life, yeah, it's not a game.
Right. Unless it's the lose your life game, but nobody would play that.
And you're seeing the media.
I mean, I guess Russian roulette could be considered a game.
That's the lose your life game.
Yeah, it is. I think that's mostly just on TV though. I don't think that's like a thing that many people do.
So the idea here is that this is tied to a broader movement. And you again see this over and over again from the left. So Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez being irrepressibly foolish. She had a series of tweets on this. So Lauren Boebert, who represents this area, she tweeted out, "The news out of Colorado Springs is absolutely awful. This morning, the victims and their families are in my prayers. The lawless violence needs to end and end quickly," which is a fine statement. There's nothing wrong with that statement. AOC immediately tweeted, "Lauren Boebert, you have played a major role in elevating LGBT plus hate rhetoric and anti-trans lies while spending your time in Congress blocking even the most common sense gun safety laws. You don't get to thoughts and prayers your way out of this. Look inward."
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, AOC.
The progressive ideology of AOC, you are responsible for murder.
No. The what AOC said was very clear.
Yeah,
she's like, you spread the kind of hate that encourages this person to choose that target, essentially. That's not what she said, but like you've been part of this anti-LGBTQ hate machine or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Get out of here with your thoughts and prayers. Fuck your thoughts and prayers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love no politician, but at least AOC has some clapback.
So again, if you say the boys are boys and girls are girls, and if you say that we should not surgically mutilate 16-year-old girls who wrongly believe they are boys, this means that you are complicit in a person who had
using that language. Yes, actually.
Yeah. Very, very seriously. Yes.
That exact language, Ben. That exact language. You could say, I don't think people should be able to have top surgery until they're 18, which is different than talking about like fucking mutilation.
Yeah.
You can just choose your language a little more carefully and say the same thing. And I'd be like, oh, I don't know. That's not up to me, actually. But my answer to all this is like, that's not up to me. That's up to the doctor.
Ben's just mad that anybody can get anybody wet except for him.
history of threatening his own mother with a bomb, shooting a bunch of gay people in a nightclub in Colorado Springs. This is the take from AOC. And then she broadened this out. She said, after Trump elevated anti-immigrant and anti-Latino rhetoric, we had the deadliest anti-Latino shooting in modern history. After anti-Asian hate with COVID, Atlanta, Tree of Life, Emmanuel AME, Buffalo. And now after an LGBT plus campaign, anti-LGBT plus campaign, Colorado Springs. Connect the dots, GOP. Well, the problem is that those dots don't connect. I mean, first of all,
they quite literally do. She just spelled it out.
Like, and why is he arguing with a tweet on his show?
Because he's a fucking idiot.
I mean, at least the things we're arguing with somebody that's not can't argue back, but at least it's a video of them. Why is Ben Shapiro arguing with a tweet?
It's a worst case scenario of a wooden boy becoming real.
Hate attack in Atlanta was directed against sex workers, right? That's what it was.
Did you see him like almost sex workers? He said he's like where'd it go, man?
Sexually powerful women.
He just did when he said sex workers.
And when she suggests that Emmanuel AME is the fault of Donald Trump, which is what she's suggesting there, Emmanuel AME happened, I checked the date, the day after Donald Trump announced for the presidency. He was not responding. Like, there's no relationship there. When it comes to the Buffalo shooter in his manifesto actively dissociates from Trump. If we're going to talk about anti-LGBT rhetoric and attacks, the Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting was not connected with quote unquote right-wing rhetoric.
Right, that's nobody's including that in the list. That guy was just fucking mad or big mad about the fucking somebody not wanting to fuck him or some shit. It was some other shit. It was some other kind of dumb shit.
It was connected with a person who appeared to be a radical Muslim.
But that's just because you think he was from the Middle East. What do you mean appeared to be a radical
people
Muslim?
On their screen, and they miss every single one of them. That's the dot that apparently needs to be connected. But again, the idea here from AOC and company is always and forever that if something terrible happens, then we can connect it to our political opponent.
Well, that was what Ben has to say about all this. Not great, right?
No.
Nope. He's not. He's certainly not apologizing.
Right, because you could be like, hey, this network has, said some, we've used aggressive language to describe things we're passionate about. And, you could say something, but why would he do that, right? The people watching his show are like probably glad the shooting happened.
Yeah, and instead he quite literally used the exact same language that leads to shootings like this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, what else would he do? I mean, once you get like kind of stuck in like a way that you talk about something, it's kind of hard to train yourself out of it. Even if you're trying to like hedge, you still end up saying the same dumb shit you were saying before. Just you're so used to it. But don't worry. The real victim, the Club Q shooting, was Lauren Boebert.
You cannot just continue to blame society for evil people. At some point, you have to blame the criminal instead of just doing whatever you can to get the blame off of them and release them back into society quicker. Mm-hmm. Dan, I have been accused of just about every mass shooting there has been since the left has learned of my name, whether it's Uvalde or the King Super shooting in Boulder, Colorado, or the Buffalo, New York shooting, or even Paul Pelosi getting hammered. I have been blamed for all of them.
Why would you laugh at that? That's the guy was attacked with a hammer and almost died.
Right, but the right fucking thinks that's hilarious.
Well,
then
certainly
the new open carry laws in San Francisco are like belt loops with hammers in them. Because ha ha ha, that's just hysterical.
Well, certainly whoever's
Man.
hosting this Real America show thinks it's funny. That's for sure.
Yeah.
An end this blame game. I think the left is pissed that I won my election.
Of course they are.
And so they're trying to find something to go after me about. I expressed my concern for the family, for the victims, and the way that they came after me is absolutely disgusting. We're all sick of this.
Sure. She's like she can't even like coherently give the talking points. At least Ben was able to kind of coherently be like, oh, every time these things happen, they smear us. She couldn't even like coherently do that. She was like incapable of even hitting the talking points, which is weird. She's actually usually a lot better than that. She was like more, I say Palin-esque this time than usual.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like nobody's trying to take anything from her or blame her for some shit she didn't do. She's just part of the problem. Doesn't mean she's a whole ass problem. People are all getting real mad that they're part of the problem. So here's a former Trump lawyer, I think. Former Trump lawyer, current Trump lawyer. I don't know who the fuck is Trump's lawyer. Oh, this is Jenna Ellis. And this is pretty big yikes, actually.
Even more tragic than untimely death is that the 5 people who were killed in the nightclub that night, there is no evidence at all that they were Christians. And so assuming that they had not accepted the truth of the gospel of Christ and affirmed Jesus Christ as the Lord of their life, they are now reaping the consequences of having eternal damnation. And that is far, far greater. And we should be having that conversation.
I would very much like to have that conversation, or maybe I'd have to send the media. Maybe we send a little Ritz to explain some things to this lady.
Yeah.
We need to find somebody to explain some things to this lady. Because oh man, you're horrible.
Send little Ritz after this lady, and her feet would be dangling.
Instead of just the tragedy of what happened to the body, we need to be talking about what happened to the soul and the fact that they are now in eternal separation from our Lord and Savior, Jesus
this
Christ.
bitch.
And how does she? How does she know that? Why does she think they weren't Christian? Most people are Christian. You know what I'm saying? In America,
Yeah.
I think you're first. I think you're still most likely to be some kind of Christian. So,
Also, what she said at the end there is that bad? Being eternally separated from God? Is that bad?
That
I mean, that's how I feel.
is what should happen, and that is what people should fear genuinely. Not what anyone can do to the body, but ultimately what happens to us in eternity.
Jenna, it is a pity that there is no hell for people like you to go to. Jenna.
This bitch needs Satan.
It is a crying shame that hell is but a myth, because that lady is a fucking prime candidate.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, she could just hold her tongue in this instance, and that would be fucking great.
Oh, well, if she was a good Christian woman, she would have been doing that the whole time anyway.
It says so in the Bible, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't worry, Tucker Carlson's going to have a guest on to turn down the temperature and not issue just a straight up terrorist threat right there on the fucking White Power Hour.
Oh, my God.
Right. I mean, it shouldn't have to be said. But what is anti-LGBTQ that these people need to understand, and what is putting our community in great danger, is, claiming that all of us support this and just associating all of us with this. Saying that groomer is an anti-LGBTQ slur. That is doing irreparable damage to us as a whole, and is putting a really large target on our backs. And unfortunately, the tragedy that happened in Colorado Springs the other night, it was expected and predictable. We all, within Gays Against Groomers, saw this coming from a mile away. Yeah. And sadly, I don't think it's going to stop until we end this evil agenda that is attacking children.
Just like straight up saying, we're coming for you again.
Mm-hmm.
What is this organization she's talking about?
Gays Against Groomers. They're on Twitter. They're one of many supposed groups of. Remember the Moderate Gays segment on Intellectual Dollar Tree?
Yes.
Those people. It's supposedly those people who are like, oh, this is all great. All the asses hanging out everywhere. Oh no, a black trans person got to go home. That's
like the people that call themselves the LGB Alliance.
Right. It's a similar group. Yeah. They're just more leaning into like satanic panic shit, because Gays Against Groomers is a fucking satanic panic.
Mm-hmm.
So they're one of the groups that is doing the rhetoric that inspires. Maybe this guy was going to fucking kill a bunch of people somewhere, but maybe this rhetoric inspired him to go to the gay bar to do it, right? Because he would have done it at a post office or, I don't know, an election center or a fucking Piggly Wiggly, a Wawa, maybe a Wawa.
Wawa.
At a Wawa. But regardless, this is one of the groups that did it. So her saying that isn't not a threat. It just seems like we're doing this again.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. Our movement is not stopping, and we will fucking shoot you. That's I think what we just watched. Don't worry. Here's Tim Pool to maybe turn down the temperature on all of this.
God.
Jesus Christ. Is this going to be even worse?
We're only 20 minutes into this docket. Dave builds hellscapes now.
It's called a mirror. We're just pointing a mirror at the world, all right?
I know. Fuck.
Obvious fucking reasons. Yo, a bunch of goddamn pedophiles are grooming children. And when we're like, hey, stop associating all LGBT people with groomers, y'all keep fucking doing it. So here's what happened. I tweeted, if you claim that groomer refers to all LGBT people, then you are calling all LGBT people groomers, and you are inciting violence against them. Stop inciting violence against them. That's what they're doing.
Look at his tweet. It's a right over.
Yeah.
So we're not saying that when somebody legitimately calls someone a groomer that they're calling all LGBTQ people that. We're saying that the rhetoric right now coming out of the Satanic Panic 17.0 or whatever version we're on. Maybe we're on 18. Maybe we're on the beta of 18 and I'm not even caught up to it yet. We're saying that's what they're saying.
18.25.
I feel like once you have the mass shooting, that's a major release. So we're definitely on Satanic Panic 18.
Well, here's one of the other people that was kind of leading this charge, Tucker Carlson. But here's a bit of a cut of current and older material, which might give you an insight into how Tucker feels about grooming.
The media have no interest in covering the sexualization of children.
Warren Jeffs didn't marry underage girls.
No, he's in prison for facilitation of child rape.
Whatever the hell that means, the rapist in this case has made a lifelong commitment to live and take care of the person.
Why would anyone defend this kind of behavior? Many are defending it, make no mistake. They're absolutely defending it.
I'm just telling you that arranging a marriage between a 16-year-old and a 27-year-old is not the same as pulling a stranger off the street and raping her. That's bullshit.
Protecting children from adults who want to sexually exploit them is a basic human instinct, and it's a noble instinct.
And these little girls start experimenting around. Next thing you know, Brad, what's going on in the Combe Dormitory? Nothing. I don't got a PSP to play. I ain't got nothing going on. I ain't got my mom and dad here to tell me that they love me and tuck me in bed. So here's Trixie, and she wants to explore my body a little bit. So, hey, let's go crazy. Wow.
That, if it weren't my daughter,
that's one theory.
Here you have a major internet.
Oh, that was creepy.
Kitty porn and sex with children, and not promoting it subtly, but right out in the open.
Now, what do you do at night when you're in when you're all by yourself in a lonely ass town? Well, obviously, you went to dinner last night. Met that good.
Kidding? I order up like 15 teenage hookers in a hot tub.
That's pretty weird when you think about it. In fact, it's very weird.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, even if they're 19 and it's totally legal, who wants to? Like, what happens to like a body of water after Tucker Carlson gets into it?
It's soiled.
It's
right.
Human stew.
Instantly soiled.
Human soup. All right, and we're gonna bookend our segment about transphobia here with Tiny Dancer Ben again. He's going to talk about NBC.
This is the game that the left likes to play with radical gender ideology and children, or drag queen story hour. What if we do something that is crazy and completely out of the box and targets kids? What if we do all of that stuff? And then you notice. You noticing is the bad part. In fact, you noticing could cause death. What? You must not notice. You must avert your eyes. You must pretend that it is.
Nobody's even fucking... Dude, I'm telling you, I've said this a million times. For the kids, the very young kids, when they see a drag queen, to them, it's a different kind of clown.
Mm-hmm.
And the drag queens, they love that the kids kind of think that they're a different kind of, it's all very wholesome.
Yes.
It's all so cute. It's just
it's also like there's nothing sexual about it. I don't know why all of these people just instantly sexualize anyone dressing in non-gender conforming clothes. Like, why do they always sexualize that?
Right.
And not for nothing, like at a 21 and over event where there's alcohol, the drag show might be more racy, but those are also like, we already have burlesque shows. The burlesque performers can go visit children and read them a book and not have it not be sexual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No one's fucking yelling at Dita Von Teese if she wanted to go do that.
Right. Or, women have been in music videos where they were dressed very scantily and had, very sexualized, and maybe they went and read to kids.
Oh. Former wife of the president, not the first lady, Melanoma, was...
to be fair, she probably never read a book to kids in her life. That lady's a monster.
Okay.
Too good. This is how you end up with senior NBC News reporter Brandy Zadrozny, who is engaging in extraordinary levels of journalisming here over on MSNBC, suggesting that libs of TikTok and other people who actually report on Drag Queen Story Hour or all ages drag shows targeting children for indoctrination into anti-traditional morality, that if you notice it, you're responsible for murder.
Brandy, explain.
Anti-traditional morality?
Yeah,
so like being okay with someone dressing in the clothes of their not their original gender, that's anti-traditional morality.
Well, also like kids have been laughing at fucking drag queens as parts of fucking Bugs Bunny. Like there's just like the Bugs Bunny comes to mind immediately. Bugs Bunny dressed in drag and it was fucking hilarious.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
The white chick. Or what the white chicks?
Oh, that's such a funny movie. But yeah, we've been laughing. This has been part of entertainment the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
To Wong Fu.
Yeah, see? This has been
Tootsie.
This has been part of entertainment the whole time.
Walk us through how rhetoric online, rhetoric from politicians can ultimately trickle down into real life, and seeing examples of what happened over the weekend.
Yeah, the response is heartbreaking. I mean, it's a group of marginalized, vulnerable people who are disproportionately the victims of these sort of hate crimes, who are just simply saying, please stop. Please stop making money and gaining political power on our backs and on violence against us. There is a pipeline. It starts from some smaller accounts online, like Libs of TikTok. It moves to the right-wing blogosphere, and then it ends up on Tucker Carlson, or it ends up out of a right-wing politician's mouth. And
she's not wrong. Damn. She works at it. She works. But damn, she like that's somebody on like cable news who kind of knows what the fuck's going on. That's amazing.
Like an actual poster from an actual public event, and then people might notice it and might get mentioned on shows like this one or on Tucker Carlson, and then a nutcase might go into an act of violence. Therefore, we should shut down Libs of TikTok. You must not notice. You must never notice what exactly.
Except she didn't even call for the shutting down of the account.
Even noticing that this thing happens,
I'd remove it from fucking my shit. But
after all,
that lady didn't even call for it. She was just explaining what the fuck's going on. And Ben Shapiro's hell mad. He's like, fuck this. Fuck the normies are onto our game. It's not just the Plex and Justin Freakin' who know what we're doing.
All the things are bad. There are no good things.
Oh, I think I do have that.
All the things are bad. There are no good things. Wonderful. They're an active good. And it's not happening, and it's good that it is another one of the shticks that the left likes to play here.
Well, what's not happening?
It's not a big deal, but also it's wonderful for children.
Well, the thing you're describing isn't happening, and the thing that is happening seems wonderful.
Yes.
Maybe some of the kids are scared because they're too young, just like kids get scared of Santa Claus, right? Like, but all in all, it seems like it's a good thing. This is fucking just more of the same shit. Come on, man. Ben, you're gonna have to come up with some new material. Now, a great clip to follow this is something I've called, "Why don't the youngs vote for conservatives?"
Together. The interesting thing about TikTok, if you've got Facebook or Twitter, they will suggest who to follow, and you decide who you want to follow. TikTok does not ask that. There's an algorithm that figures out what the next video you're going to see is going to be. And when asked about who decides what the algorithm is, TikTok will not answer. What's interesting, and Ainsley, it plays to your point about how many young people are on TikTok. There's an item in The Hill today, and the headline is, "Did TikTok tip the midterms?" Keep in mind, all those young people getting their news from TikTok. It reads in part, if a substantial percentage of the younger voters in the midterms were getting their information about the world, including politics, from a social media outlet owned by a Chinese company and running an algorithm being manipulated by Chinese cyber engineers. They're suggesting, there's no proof. But given the fact that the algorithm, which is a secret, and TikTok is run by a Chinese entity, did they tip the midterms?
Well,
That is the name of the item.
It's also about security. There's certain parts of the government, including branches of the military.
So check this out. The Youngs didn't vote for us because of some cloak and dagger shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be all for opening up all of these algorithms, making all that shit public. But yet again, like, these people are complaining about something that their side actively prevents.
Well, more importantly the idea that they had to invent some conspiracy about China to figure out why the young people tend not to vote for them is just, it's just amazing, honestly. Like, who cares if their algorithm is, who cares if they found it on TikTok or Twitter or some shit that we've never heard of because we're old. Like, the idea that the Youngs, there needs to be a conspiracy to get the Youngs to vote against the Republicans is just fucking absurd.
Yeah. It's like, all we do is shit on these people and they don't like us. What the fuck?
Why?
We shit on their trans friends, we shit on their gay friends, we shit on their black friends, and none of them vote for us. Especially in the cities.
Must be because they're poor.
It's pretty good, yeah. This next thing, I couldn't believe it. I don't usually, if the clip's like 18 seconds, I usually just don't because it's too short. But in this case, watch what this guy admits to on the fucking Tucker Carlson show.
As someone involved in business would, why did none of the regulators do that? Where was Gary Gensler?
Well, I don't know where Gary Gensler was, but my regulator at the CFTC, I asked them, why in the world are you invoking the Commodity Exchange Act, Section 5, Paragraph B?
Did you hear what he just admitted to?
Yeah. Can you play that again?
Yeah.
I think we did hear that right.
Here, I'll play it without the words on the screen, and we'll try to look away from the screen to make...
Okay.
As someone involved in business would, why did none of the regulators do that? Where was Gary Gensler?
Well, I don't know where Gary Gensler was, but my regulator at the CFTC, I asked them, why in the world are you...
Whoa, dude.
My regulator that I bribe...
The fucking balls.
Wow.
He didn't even stop and try to correct himself. He's like, nah, I do bribery.
I would like to see the next 10 or 15 seconds or whatever until Tucker's reaction. If he just glossed over it, he probably just glossed over it.
Tucker just sat there and did the confused face, right?
Look like a fucking dead ass fish on
There's
the
there's a 99% chance if you're watching his show that he's making a confused face.
So this is really weird. Tucker Carlson's gonna I'm pretty sure Pete Buttigieg has been in with his partner for 10, 12 years, some long-term partner situation. Tucker's gonna ask how long has Mayor Pete been gay?
He's all framed like he's a saint.
Of course, couldn't pass up a moment like this. It's not like Pete Buttigieg wants to talk about how things are going over at the transportation department, which he supposedly runs. Short answer, not well. No. Pete Buttigieg wants to talk about identity.
What does he do wrong?
Wants to talk about identity. And the funny, ironic thing is, until just a few years ago, Buttigieg wouldn't even admit that he was gay. He hid that and then lied about it for reasons he has never been asked to explain. Why not?
Because none of your business.
Wait a minute. Reasons you've never... fucking refer to the whole fucking rest of the show that we've been doing so far, actually, if you don't mind. Just the whole fucking 33 minutes before what's happening right now on this show. Just refer back to that and let's think about why. I don't know, though. He's a little younger than me. Why he wasn't out. But he lived in Indiana. He didn't have friends like Ashley.
use his sexual orientation as a cudgel to bash you repeatedly in the face into submission.
Well, that's crazy.
To bash you repeatedly in the face into submission
with his sexuality.
Saying, "Hey, could you not like judge me because I'm gay?" That's equal to bashing you in the face repeatedly into submission.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're doing the fucking. They're just leaning all the way in, right? They're just leaning all the way into the gay panic, and it's like it's crazy because I just like. Even 5 years ago, if somebody would have said, "Oh, we're actually going to have another gay panic in 2022," I'd have been like, "I don't know about that."
Really?
I'd have been like, And then be like, "No, look, I'm Dave from the future. Look how much fatter than you I am, but I'm you." I'd be like, "Oh shit, you are me from the future." Anyway, here's Trump actually kept some of the classified documents because when you live somewhere for a while, you just need like some keepsakes that you got. You just need a keepsake. It's like you just take the. I'll just take if I moved, I just take a cat with me, like a keepsake. It's not stealing.
Yeah, it's like when I left Facebook. I took the umbrellas, and I also took some engineering samples of some hardware they were working on, some unreleased schematics,
a couple USB drives,
and you actually still have their best network security analyst in a fucking storage unit somewhere. They haven't even noticed that they're not there anymore.
Anyway, just so you know, we are joking.
Anyway, keepsakes.
Except the umbrellas, I did steal those.
Keepsakes.
Can the president not partake? Will?
Not partake
in the investigation. He says,
I thought you meant like weed.
I think
President Trump.
That will be very difficult. I imagine there is some subpoena power for a special pronosecutor. We'll see how it all unfolds.
But they've proven that they just say no thanks and they just don't go. And nothing happens.
Enough.
Right.
6 years ago. And look, I thought it important this morning. So you guys probably saw this. And I think we're going to talk about it because I hope we talk about this more throughout the weekend. But, you get issued a news story. Not unlike, okay, now we're going to investigate. Big, blaring headlines, whatever it may be. And then later, when the truth and facts and everything is revealed, it's always this big. The headline in the beginning is this big, and then the truth is this big. And so I just wanted to show you this and put it in the context of this investigation. This week, and I don't think it's got enough attention, the Washington Post had this headline up that investigators see ego, not money, as Trump's motive on classified papers. Meaning, what the report suggests.
Investigators are smart. Trump just wants them to be like, look what I have.
Original reporting is, we're talking about all the documents.
Look at all these nuclear secrets I have in my house.
Right. Like, you want to come over? I got nuclear secrets. Ivanka's not there. We can get to second base.
No, seriously, you should come over and spend the night. We'll stay up. I'll show you all of my nuclear secrets. We'll grind up and snort some Adderall. It'll be great.
We'll invite Kanye over. He'll bring some friends.
Yeah, of course he didn't have them because he thought he could make money on them. Of course he had them because he thinks he's the shit and he should have the documents, right?
I have pajamas for everybody. They have white hoods.
In that law, in the all three of the laws that he allegedly broke by keeping these documents, as far as like the motive for like taking them goes, the only thing in any of them is you had to have taken them on purpose.
Right, of course.
And not even all of the laws.
And if someone put them in your backpack, Trump's like, oh, they just ship the pallets here. I don't know. He could have tried that. But like, the thing is, the investigator, I was ahead of the investigators. I was like, he just wants that shit to show it to other people.
Yep.
So that he can like pretend that he's still the president. Him and Ivanka still play president and first lady. Like, have some secret documents around to set the mood. I mean, come on.
In case he needed to make a quick $1 million or something,
They suspect that President Trump wasn't hoarding the nuclear codes for nefarious reasons or so, but rather because he was keeping them like one would keep, a keepsake. Mm-hmm. And I know there's thousands of papers but
the nuclear codes, they change like every. What do you mean nuclear codes? Whatever mechanism there is to authorize a nuclear strike probably changes every 72 hours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I think it's faster than that. Right. I mean, my Google login changes every the little authenticator app, that changes every 30 seconds.
Right. Okay, sure. Every 30, but there's some shit that you can't just take with you on a piece of paper to start World War III. You're like, hey, General so-and-so. Yeah, I know. I used to be the president. 751724B. And they're like, oh shit, got to start World War III. No, there's no
He has the code. He has the secret code. We have to do it now.
Like, come on. Look at this. No. Have the codes. What the fuck does that even mean?
I just feel like here we go again. Of course, that's what Donald Trump is saying, and it's going to backfire. I feel like.
Do you think so?
Kevin Corke said that at the end.
He did.
I shouldn't say it's going to. It has a high likelihood of backfiring because you've already got the Republican establishment money types saying, "No, Donald Trump, you're not our preferred candidate." So you already have that, right? And then you have on top of it another investigation. Remember the bump that the president got in his approval when the raid first happened?
Right.
So you remind people of the raid and the targeting through this special counsel and investigation, and people are reminded that there's been one guy willing to fight from the beginning, and they've come after him, and that politically inside the Republican Party reminds people what a standard bearer he has been.
This is the stupidest analysis I've ever fucking heard. Oh my God.
There's been one guy willing to fight for the right of ex-presidents to steal nuclear secrets on their way out the door. And that guy is Donald Trump.
I think they should remind everybody about the raid with another raid. It's just raid them
The
again.
funny thing is, though, like, a raid is like they fucking use the thing to smash your door in. They throw flashbangs on your children. Like, they fucking shoot your dog. These people, they knew. They just issued they did a search warrant. They had a search warrant and they conducted a search warrant. This was not a raid.
I know. I think they should really raid him, though.
They should. They should show them what a raid. Like, bring some flashbangs.
Yeah.
Trump doesn't have a dog, but they. Nope, not going to say that. Anyway, let's go.
No knock warrant.
That's true, and it reminds people. I'm glad you brought that up. It does remind people of the raid. Now, remember, in this raid, the FBI went into.
Dude, the FBI called a half an hour in advance and told Trump's lawyers that they were going to execute a search warrant.
They raided Roger Stone.
They raided Roger Stone. Yeah, they raided that.
They caught Mike Pillow at a drive-through.
Well, that's, you know what I mean? That's actually appropriate for everyone. They called Trump's lawyers. Trump was like, oh, maybe do they want to see the documents? And his lawyers are like, oh, God. And then
he showed the FBI the documents. When
right.
They
sent a person in there and he was like, hey, I bet you have secret documents.
You want to
be the president. He's like, yeah, do you want to see the fucking documents?
No, the bunch of FBI agents came over and he gave him a fucking tour and showed him the fucking closet they were in. It's like, he's the leak.
He's
his own fucking leak.
You played yourself, sir. You played yourself.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
They rifled through Barron Trump's bedroom and Melania's closet. Now, mind you, they've never done that to Hunter Biden.
Nope.
They've never done that.
Did Hunter Biden steal any documents? Hunter Biden's based.
Had copies of the keys.
The answer to your question is no. Hunter Biden has never even been accused of that.
I don't think he's ever been elected to anything either.
That is also true.
My understanding is that he treats his cocaine dealer and the sex workers he hires quite well. And is very, very kind and tips well.
Office. My mom does not have the keys to my office. I'm sure your mom doesn't have the keys to your office, and your dad doesn't have the keys to your office.
No.
So
the guy on the right's like, my dad has the keys to my office, actually.
By the way, FBI, if you can't find the pipe bomber, you don't deserve any money, any funding, and any new investigations. Find the pipe bomber on
Who's the pipe bomber? Oh, on
January 6th. Then we can talk about what else you can do.
It continues to be, I think, another feather in the cap of those.
Wait, no, more to the point, FBI, if you can't find the door that they stole from the Capitol.
DOJ has been politicized, and that's what Victor Davis Hanson is pointing out.
That was a pretty big whataboutism, though.
The other irony,
like the FBI is just not allowed to do anything until they finish this one investigation.
The House and the presidency, and they're going to have to decide: can this republic continue when the Democrats impeach a first-term president twice? They impeach him as a private citizen. They raid an ex-president's home. They investigate a presidential candidate with a special counsel.
But when they issued the search warrant, they found exactly what they thought they were going to find because he already showed them the things when they came by. They were like, FBI, and he's like, oh shit, you know what you'd be impressed by if you work in the FBI? And that's why they think he's doing it out of ego, because of the way he behaved. He was like, Bet you don't have documents like this. And the FBI is like, no, I would be in jail.
No other president has documents like this in their former presidential vacation home.
Man, if the X-Files was still around, they'd do something about this, but also with aliens.
They determine which
Ivanka's actually an alien.
committees. They tear up the State of the Union on national TV. Do they really want to keep doing this? Because you're going to see a little glimpse of it when the Republicans take the House, but someday they will suffer that in kind with these precedents that they've established.
I want to believe that Victor Hansen is right.
Like what he said is kind of true, but it's because like the Democrats are morally more morally consistent than the Republicans, and the Republicans are just whiny and vindictive. So yeah, they'll do exactly the same things the Democrats did, but they just won't have a reason to do it.
So I don't know if the next thing we're going to do. So Ye or Kanye went to dinner with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, brought fucking Nick Fuentes with him.
Oh, geez.
But here's his debrief from his dinner with Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago.
This is embarrassing.
Embarrassing for me, and I have nothing to do with Ye.
Right.
I think the thing that Trump was most perturbed about, me asking him to be my vice president, I think that was like lower on the list of things that caught him off guard. It was the fact that I walked in with intelligence. So Trump is
no, that's Nick Fuentes. That's that's when you walked. Yeah, you walked in with intelligence. I don't know. Those are nice Ray-Bans though.
And Nick Fuentes, unlike so many of the lawyers and so many people that he was left with on his 2020 campaign, he's actually a loyalist. When he didn't know what the lawyers is, you'll still have your lawyer list. And when all the lawyers said, forget it, Trump's done, there are lawyers.
What the fuck's going on with Milo? Holy shit, is Milo rolling?
The White House, right? And my question would be, why, when you
Milo's like eating his fucking bottom lip.
Free the January 6ers. And I came to him as someone who loves Trump, and I said, go and get Corey back. Go and get these people that the media tried to cancel and told you to step away from. He basically gives me this would-be mob-esque kind of story, talking to some kid from the south side of Chicago.
I believe that part. I believe this part.
He goes into the story about all that he went through to get Alice Johnson out of jail and how he didn't do it for Kim, but he did it for me. But then he goes on to say that Kim is a you could tell her.
Whoa, I don't know what did they blank out?
The mother of my children. Since we know, and all the Christians in America that know that Trump is a conservative, we're going to demand that you hold all policies directly to the Bible. When Trump started basically screaming,
Milo, calm down.
I mean,
yeah, he doesn't.
Damn.
Anyone in history tell me
You're gonna lose. Tell him he's gonna lose.
I'm like, well, hold on, Trump. You're talking to Ye.
Oh my fucking God. The next election cycle. You know what, everybody? Check this out. Let us be your guide. We are the only ones prepared to cover the next election cycle.
You're fucking 100% correct.
I fucking no shade on everybody. Actually, fucking shade. Time for tinfoil might be a good place to tune in. Actually, that Dystopia Beat. Make sure not only on Twitter are you following the Dystopia Beat, make sure you're following them on Mastodon too, because who knows what apartheid Clyde is going to do. Man, things are going to get weird. I figure Michael Moore should run on the Democratic side. We should make the whole thing weird. Let's go to this may or may not be a palate cleanser. I don't know if this is a palate cleanser or not. I didn't watch it. Someone suggested it in the Discord as a palate cleanser, but I never, ever, ever watch. Unless it's Nick Fuentes, I have to watch all of them beforehand because, you know. Oh, that's amazing.
Is this real?
I think so. It broke and you had to fix
That's hysterical.
That was great.
I feel like everyone has smoked weed with that guy. You know what I'm saying? If you smoke weed, you've smoked weed with that guy for sure. All right. Oh, no. Oh, we can go a little long. All right. We've moved on to the Mike Pillow part of the show. Apparently, Apartheid Clyde has unbanned a lot of people, but maybe not Mike Pillow. I bet it's because Mike Pillow talked shit about fucking Elon Musk in the past and fucking forgot about it.
Did he unban Plex Dave?
I haven't looked today.
Today. He unbanned Justin Freakin.
He's going to unban Jacob Wall. Anyway, here's fucking Mike Pillow talking about how he has not been banned on Twitter, unbanned on Twitter by Apartheid Clyde.
My shout out to Elon Musk would be, if your such should be a new platform of free speech, but yet you're going to carve out the guys that talk about our election crimes and our election integrity. I don't think it's that free, Steve. I think I would like to do a shout out to Elon Musk right now. Hey, check out the evidence. I was banned because
pretty soon Mike Pillow is going to be richer than Elon Musk.
I was telling the truth, and that's disgusting. And to be one of the few people that's still banned.
Hang on.
Mike Lindell is still banned. Mike Lindell
Steve Bannon's like, hold on, I'm trying to fucking dick ride Elon Musk right now. Could you slow down a little bit?
They have not reached out to you and asked you for the evidence you had and asked you to come.
No, Apartheid Clyde is not reaching. Like, fucking Elon Musk wants to be popular, but not with Mike Pillow.
No.
He's not even happy that he's popular with the fucking weirdos that like him right now. He wants a higher quality. He wants like Stephen King to like him, I think is like the thing.
Richard Marx.
Yeah, he wants like Richard Marx to like him. He wants like a bunch of cool like celebrities to like him, but they don't like him.
There's no one there to send him a message. Twitter HQ is like, there's like a couple thousand people there and that's it.
So, like, unless Elon particularly in specific notices you and unblocks your old account, you're not getting unblocked.
Yep. Oh God, they're advertising oh wait, this is his own.
Yeah.
thing.
This is like
God.
us. God, imagine if we were. How much would I'd be like, here's a T-shirt that's $83. Use this code for 66% off.
66.6% off.
Oh, they get mad.
If you believe I was banned from Twitter because I was saying something that wasn't true, disinformation, or free speech, you know what? Why don't you call me up or get a hold of me? I tried to get a hold of you.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me specific. I would love to get a hold of Mike.
Like, no. Mark's safe from being contacted by Mike Lindell today.
Here's the evidence. Here you go. And you can take that for what it's worth. I was banned from Twitter after January 9th because I had the evidence to overturn save this country, overturn an election and show that China attacked our country. And we've been attacked by another country, China. It's that simple.
Oh, it was China. There's just no way we could have predicted this in 2016 or 2015. Like
Elon Musk would buy Twitter and run it into the ground and
somebody told me that, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right.
22 days.
Yeah, I'd be like, Elon Musk goes into the world's worst midlife crisis. Oh, that's somebody would have told me that. I've been like, that seems actually pretty likely.
I wouldn't have guessed he would have crashed Twitter as fast as he had. As he has.
It's taking so long.
He should while out and let Jacob Wall back on. like, let's go. Let's let Jacob Wall and Jack Berkman back on Twitter. I mean, if we're gonna party, let's party.
Allow it all or nothing.
You gotta let Plex Dave back on too, so that you could. Well, I don't know if I would even be able to say the same thing. It's been years. Jacob Wall's gotten older. I couldn't call him that anymore. He is no longer a twink, actually. Anyway, here's Mike Lindell. He's going to run for the chair of the Republican National Committee.
Guys, if you support me running for against Ronna McDaniel, please email me. I'm not going to be able to email you back, but I want to read all this. I want the feedback.
He's like, email me. I will never email you back.
About it. One of the things I will tell you, there will never stop to get rid of these machines and make this the best elections in world history in our country. We need some, everybody, I'll
like, what is he's just scrolling through a Facebook comment thread that's blurred out? What was that?
It didn't even stop on anything.
And I'm telling you, it's just non.
I mean, if they stopped, they might, and it was in focus, they might show us something that would get us kicked off of Twitch. So,
what is this that he's scrolling through?
Who fucking knows, man? Oh, the video's over. Did you notice? Like, who fucking knows that this is Mike Pillow? This is Lindell TV. If you people ever like, you know what kind of sucks hanging out actually on Echoplex Media? You just understand that you could be watching Lindell TV.
Yeah.
We're showing them at Lindell TV.
To be fair, if things got real slow late at night, we'd just go to the Lindell TV live feed because Mike Lindell has not been banned from Twitch yet. So anyway, here's more about him running for the head of the RNC.
But yeah, I've been doing my due diligence the last few days. Steve, the RNC it's such a big institution and it's so important, and it's failed us. And I've talked to big donors now in the last 3 days. I've talked to many.
He's got my vote. Actually, let him run the RNC. Fuck it.
And every one of them says we got
out
a different leader, a different input to get a different output. I'm learning so much about it, and like I do anything,
you're not learning.
Due diligence, and then I'm going to say, hey, where are the holes here, and can I be that right person to fill that lead? And when you look at the RNC like a business, and
it is actually a business. The political parties aren't like government agencies. They're private. They are like nonprofits or whatever.
You got 2018, 2020, 2022, FFF, the triple F, okay? Now, if
like when Comcast goes down. F's in the chat. F's in the chat.
The RNC is a mess. You don't have the donors are upset. They want results. All the people.
So bring in the fucking weird pillow guy who everybody thinks is falling off the wagon to fix it. So the donors will come back. Jeep will start giving you money again if you just bring in Mike Pillow.
I talked to within the organization are upset because some of them are quitting. Some of them are glad they're termed out. It needs to be fixed, and I believe that it can be fixed. And real fast.
It would fucking fuck whatever Steve Bannon was going to say. Whoever cuts these clips, by the way, I feel like I wonder if I could, like, during the day instead of what I'm doing right now, like, people send me like the 5 minutes around the thing they want, and they'd be like, you know where the money shot is here, and I cut them a good clip and send it back to them. I wonder if I could make I could do that instead of hucking laptops. Probably not this month. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, we've got 3 minutes left on the show, but we can go a little bit long. I don't think we're gonna do Why is Jackson Hinkle because the audio is like awful. So we've got Candace Owens goes after Sam Harris, or we could check in on Brett and Heather. I mean, those are the.
I vote Candace Owens. What do you think?
I mean, sure. This is our last clip of the regular show. Don't worry, we could maybe get to the other stuff during the post game. Maybe there's not no one to root for. I mean, you may end up rooting for Sam Harris in this particular. Like it's okay.
He calls me up and he sounded like he was in a bunker. He sounded actually like he had taken his children and his wife down into a bunker with whatever was needed to survive. And he said,
he's just in like the downstairs part of his Malibu home.
I mean, you don't understand. And he used the fact that, of course, what they always do, well, these academics know absolutely nothing but what they read in books. They do not possess critical thinking skills at all. And he said, I know doctors and physicians over in Italy. This thing is going to hit America in 2 weeks. There's going to be gurneys on the street. There's going to be gurneys on the street because there's going to be no room in the hospital. You don't understand. This thing is real. He was speaking to me like the bubonic plague was about to hit America. And I was just very calm and respectful. I was in the car on my way to an event, obviously. I was not walking myself at home. I was in Texas. My husband was next to me, and I was just making faces like, oh, this guy sounds a little cray-cray. He has definitely...
To be fair, Sam Harris, don't just call people.
And I just said, okay, thank you. And he starts rattling off some statistics and trying to make me understand how viruses work because he's got a degree from Stanford University. How could Sam Harris be wrong? And of course,
she really doesn't like educated people, does she?
Also, I don't think his degree. I think his degree is I think it's from somewhere in LA. I don't think he got a degree from Stanford. I could be wrong.
completely out of
I think he literally bought a machine for
coming out from under
UCLA.
that bunker for months.
Yeah, it's UCLA.
And I went inside, did an event, shook everybody's hand, and did not get COVID until years after that. And I survived it. Never got a vaccine, never did anything. Turns out I was right, Sam Harris was wrong. But in a Sam Harris type universe, I would have had my account suspended for spreading malicious lies, because how could I possibly know anything? When the experts and the
So I don't think, listen, I don't like Sam Harris, but I don't think he was like, there's going to be a pandemic. You know who I need to call immediately is Candace Owens.
No.
Right? Like he might do a lot of weird shit, but I don't believe her, actually. It's not that I don't have to like Sam Harris to think that she's lying about him calling her. Like, that would be like if, I don't know, if like Betty Washam were to go live and be like, Adrienne Curry called me to tell me, you'd be like, no, she didn't, honey. No, she didn't, honey.
Also, what she said there at the end about...
That wasn't the end. We just paused it. But
Oh, okay. Well, what she said there right before you paused it, where she basically said, well, I got it and I turned out fine, therefore it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you can get like flesh-eating bacteria and come through on the other side. That doesn't mean it's not a big deal. Like, there are deadly diseases that won't necessarily kill you. And no one was saying that anyone would be guaranteed to die from it. But like,
some people do.
Yeah, it's the death rate, the mortality rate of it was 10 times greater than the flu.
So
which is a big deal.
So listen, we're never going to like you, Sam, unless you like apologize for the Charles Murray thing with the race and IQ. And like mostly everything you've done actually since 9/11, to be perfectly honest. But if you were to come out and be like, I actually didn't call Candace Owens when I found out there was a pandemic because I don't know her and she's just telling you a crazy thing, I'd be like, all right. Because like Sam Harris did not call Candace Owens when we found out there was a pandemic happening. He just didn't. It's not that he's too good to call her. It's just that, like, why would he call Candace Owens? Call Charles Murray to ask how IQ affects it? I'd believe that. Call Brett Weinstein? Sure. Sam Harris didn't call her to, like, fucking drama queen about the disease.
No. Nobody calls Candace for anything.
Well, no, people call her. But if she would have said that, like, Nick Fuentes called her, I'd be like, all right, that's probably true.
Maybe Dennis Prager.
Dennis Prager called her. Oh, what? She'd be like, but I hung up on him because he pervs on me. I'd believe that too.
Yeah.
Academics are telling us the opposite. They read books, guys. They understand the data. They own the science, right? That's the whole point. You spend enough time in school, you become an idiot. I say it every time. He's got a PhD from Stanford, which lets me know that
Except it's from UCLA.
That believes in his own magic.
Or some shit.
Right?
It's not from Stanford.
That he's super educated, as these leftists tend to be. I'm a journalist.
Don't go to school. Candace Owens.
Sam Harris is a
I
leftist?
should tell you what's right and what's wrong.
Stay in drugs. Don't do school.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into the Plex podcast. And Media, can you read out the Plex?
Yes, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for downloading this pod. If you have only listened to the pod and you have not seen the live show, please come over to twitch.tv/EchoPlexMedia. Hang out, do things in the chat, fucking give shirts away, play fucking bingo. We do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock and beyond into red light. And that's I'm the Media Wench, and this is Boomers by Periscope.
You recall a
Echoplex Media streams 7 days a week on twitch.tv/Echoplex Media. With a variety of hosts and topics, there's bound to be something you'll like. Or hate so much you can't stop watching it. All times are Pacific. Check out our full schedule at echoplexmedia.com.